Thank you for waking up with Happy Ass, where we come together to grow in mind, body, and spirit, so we can in turn go out and make the world a brighter and sweeter place to live for ourselves and for others. And you know what? I'm here today with somebody who really does do that. I'm not blowing smoke. You really do that. Your whole family does that. So I want to say a few things about you real quick. So besides being the mayor of our wonderful city of Panama City and the owner of history class, El Weirdo, Panama City Boxing Club.
Oh, no, I don't own that.
You don't own that?
I don't own that. And I just live next door.
Shut the front.
No, I get my whole life. I've gotten more credit for things than I deserve.
Isn't that great? And then it's saying, so we cleared that up.
Yeah.
So he does not own Panama City Boxing Club.
No.
You know, the whole time. I know that Jennifer Berg is a part owner, so I thought it was her and you and a whole bunch of other sweet people. Well,
many other things, but not that one.
Shut your mouth. I love that. Of course, you have the most interesting and precious family. You do.
I do.
That you do. Your parents are...
They're the best. People would be far less impressed with me if they knew my parents, and they'd be like, "Oh, you should have done better, Allan."
No,
because my parents are amazing.
Love them. Your daddy.
Yeah.
I see your daddy more than your mama, but they're so precious, and your sister is on another level. She be cray-cray in the best possible way.
Sure.
One of my favorite guests that I've had on my podcast. So I've met your zany sister and your parents and all that stuff. So now that we cleared up, I know that you used to be a software nerd.
Still am.
Still are.
Yeah.
I can't even, that hurts my head. I don't have that. I don't have one single brain cell that has to do with that kind of stuff.
The older I get, the harder it becomes. The software stuff now, I do it, and I'm good at it, but it's not what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Right, because I wrote here, I said, that blows my mind because it says software brain, a weirdo, creative brain, and then political brain.
Yeah.
I have a funny feeling they're all kind of tied up together, but to me, it's fairly unusual that such a creative, because you're a super creative.
Oh, thank you.
Super creative is like a software nerdy person.
Well, software is like an art too. It is. It would make much more sense if you saw it.
Yeah.
Because you're designing the way you introduce something to a person. You're trying to get them to come back to it and keep using a thing, and so it's user experience. So it's very much customer service and how you speak to people and empathy of the customer. It's all that sort of stuff.
Wow. Yeah. I don't even. But see, I can relate to things like El Weirdo and history class, which I freaking love.
Well, thank you.
And I'm going to go on record to say that it's the absolute best pimento cheese I've ever had in my life.
Oh,
I'm a Southerner.
Yeah.
I'm from Alabama.
Sure.
So I know pimento cheese.
That was Dan's recipe, and we tested a few of them. And again, life is about surrounding yourself with smart people who sort of understand the vision, and I've got a lot of those folks.
Funny you said that, because I wrote down something that you said. I've got to remember to do this because I really want to ask you about this right here. And I totally got so excited and talk about my sponsors, but we'll do that later. Okay. So this is something that you wrote on Facebook.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. Lucky for you, everything you write is nice.
Yeah.
Okay. It says, some of the most valuable relationships in life are the ones that see more in you than you see in yourself. They push you, challenge you, believe in the future version of you, even if you don't believe in it yet. And that creates friction because it's easier to stay the same. It's easier not to change, but growth never comes easy.
Yeah.
I feel that way about this town. I don't just see what we are or what we were. I see what we can be together, and I want to fight for that version of us. It just said that and never said anything else politically.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
That is so beautiful.
Thank you.
And you ran a very clean and kind campaign.
I tried my best.
And that is hard to do in politics because some emotions can be flaring.
It is.
So what did you do as a kid? What were the things that what in the world happened in your kid's life that made you do this life? What did you imagine?
Oh my goodness. I was a homeschooler.
Yeah.
So I was a homeschooler. I have 3 sisters and a brother, and we were all homeschooled, and my parents are just incredible. They were former teachers, and my dad ran the car washes, and we were just, my parents are just amazing. My mom was an art major, and Lacey was an art major. I was an art major. High school school, I wanted to be a football coach and art teacher. I had an amazing art teacher at Bay High, Greg Newberry. And so I was an art major in college. And so software was my next that was 2001. I was coming through college, and I found the internet and how to build websites. And that's really where software is now, is it really websites. And so I just found that there was this sort of quirky little thing called the internet, and you could use sort of these creative skills, and it just kind of it suited me. So
I'm so excited to find out you were an art major, because I'm a freak about art.
Yeah.
You didn't have time because you're running in and out, but there's 90-something pieces of original art in this building.
Yeah, I love it. It's everywhere. It's
90-something, but I do not buy canned art.
Yeah.
I buy from local artists or artists that I meet along the way. My house is the same way. I tease and I say that my furniture altogether is worth $3,000 and my art is $200,000.
Sure.
So that's where my value is in art, and that's why I promote artists. And I love that you have all the crazy stuff at El Weirdo. Yeah. I mean, that gives us a little vision into your brain, to be honest with you, for sure. But so I knew you were homeschooled because Lacey had told me that.
Yeah.
I homeschooled one of mine. So one's homeschooled, the other's going to school.
Yeah.
I tried to homeschool Sheldon, and I thought I would just absolutely jump off a bridge. If you ever met Sheldon, you would know why that's true.
Sure.
And mainly he was having to be homeschooled because he was getting in trouble.
And we homeschooled all our children. I don't think homeschool is a better path for anyone. It's just a different path. It's harder because you're around the kid all the time. You can't get a break. Yeah. My mom would just put us outside and lock the doors of the house.
Yeah. Give some Kool-Aid, water down Kool-Aid.
So when the street lights come on. But anything that I have now, any gifts or they all just stem from my parents.
Well, and they were entrepreneurs too. So you really... That's the thing that I did, even though I grew up in an alcoholic home and I learned some crazy coping skills at a very young age. And that's where I learned my practice of gratitude and affirmations and stuff, was being in that environment. But my parents were both very smart, very creative, very talented. And I never thought there was anything I couldn't do.
Yeah.
That just wasn't a notion. I just thought I could do anything.
Sure.
And
that's a great way to be.
That's got me in trouble, but it's also served me well.
Probably more support the latter, probably.
Yeah, I think so. So and you were homeschooled. And so what were you into when you were younger? What were the things you loved?
Well, Brad Stevens and I at Sunjammers, we grew up sailing all over the bay. He was a neighbor of mine. Brad's awesome. And football, sports, the normal stuff. In Panama City, when you're this size as a child, you are... What team do you play for? And we didn't grow up watching sports. I had a cousin who played college football, but I didn't watch any sport. My dad worked at the car wash on Saturdays. That was the busy day. We were usually there working too. And so we didn't really watch a lot of football. I didn't even know the positions when I went to high school, but I went to Bay High to play football because I was, 6'1", 260 as a freshman, benching 300 pounds. And they're like, you're going to play football. And so it really wasn't, I didn't really know that I could be artistic. That really was just kind of a thing we did. It wasn't really a celebration of like, oh, look how artistic you are. Until I got to college and then, high school. And then I had this David Massey, whose mom's Bobby Massey of Bobby Massey Dance Studio. He took me into Greg Newberry. He said, this guy keeps drawing all over his worksheets, cartoons and things. So he took me, and Greg's like, you got to get into art classes. And I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't know I had that. Greg Newberry saw me for being something more than a football player. And so that's what really carried me through college. And then the internet it sparked a hunger to learn things that I had not experienced before.
Crazy.
So
where did you go to college?
I went to University of Alabama in Birmingham, UAB.
Okay, cool. So we're an Auburn family.
Oh, okay. My wife's an Auburn fan. Pat Sullivan was our offensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing, yeah.
I remember Pat Sullivan very well because it's a big thing between Pat Sullivan. No, Shug Jordan. Shug Jordan was there, and then Pat Sullivan. Yeah, we were into all that growing up. So you grew up right here in Bay County, the hometown,
right? My parents still live on Palmetto Avenue next to the port.
Oh, that is
right down next to Brad.
That is awesome. Yeah. That is awesome. I love that fella. He is. We got some good people here in this town. Yeah. So you liked, and I ask you about the homeschooling. You the same for your kids, and you told me you did. Yeah. And what's really interesting, I know that your son, who is delightful, plays in the band. So even though he's homeschooled, that's what's so cool that people don't realize.
Yeah.
You can still get your kids involved in the different things.
Yeah, really kind of around Tim Tebow was when people started realizing that school districts could do that. And Bay District Schools is very collaborative with homeschoolers. He graduated last year, but he was in the band. He took weightlifting class and wrestled too. And the administration was super collaborative about getting him off campus when he needed to be. And so we really enjoyed it.
Another thing I want to ask you is, most of your projects that I've seen you are very, very rooted in community pride. I think I know where this comes from because your parents. So what does the spirit of this place mean to you?
There's things called social fabric and soul and spirit, and it's what makes us different than the other towns, right? And so much of just the United States in general has become this repetitive Dollar General, Walmart, Target, O'Charlie's, and not to knock any of those businesses, but so we're starting to all look the same. We used to have much more regional cuisines and regional accents and things like that, and we're kind of becoming homogenized. And so it's very easy for a city to lose that fabric of what makes you different. You see it in the architecture, you see it in all those sort of things that just make it feel like it's something a little bit different. And I think our brains are wired in a way I don't think we understand. There's hand-painted signs. A hand-lettered sign is not perfect. A vinyl lettering sign is perfect, but your brain likes that hand lettering for some reason. And there's a term called wabi-sabi, which is actually a fake Japanese term, which means the beauty of an imperfection. And I think your brain is wired to see something that's imperfect and believe it's perfect and wish it's perfect.
It's unique and it's authentic.
Yeah, it draws you in a way. And that's why a lot of times you can see a classic car and one might be beautifully restored and a perfect paint job, but then there's something intriguing and special about a patina where you're like, oh, that took decades for that rusty drip to happen. There's something about that draws you in a way. And so, most of my projects and a lot of things it's hard to quantify what that means to a community, what the value is. Old buildings and the spaces between stuff. And there's 1,000 little things that builds authenticity or spirit or soul or fabric. Yeah.
And you're doing that downtown. I absolutely am a freak about downtown.
Thank you.
I am a freak. And this would be a really good natural place to talk about a few of the sponsors downtown.
Let's do it.
Because it's so cool because just come with me on a little journey.
Let's do it.
Start over across my beautiful Beachy Beach real estate building at Minutes and Miles.
Yeah.
They're one of my sponsors. I've got the most ridiculous number of chicken leg shorts. It's embarrassing. I think 35 plus pairs of chicken leg shorts. Crazy.
And you can shop there even if you're not a runner, because I buy my shoes from there too.
Absolutely. Got great shoes. They'll fit you. They're
some
wonderful.
Crazy socks.
Oh, I love the socks. The socks are
I always wear weird socks too. Those are my Panama City socks.
Oh, I love their socks. I love their socks. They've got all kinds of stuff, and I love it. And in fact, before I got on today, they sent me a little picture of some chicken leg shorts that they ordered for me. It finally came in. But so I had Minutes and Miles, and then you go around the corner to Hugh Salon.
Yeah.
They do my hair.
I love it.
And they're one of my sponsors.
They're awesome.
And then we just walk around the corner again, and I've got Jute and Palm and Can't Hide Pretty.
Love it.
All four of those beautiful companies believe in what I'm doing at my Happy Ass Life sponsor. Isn't that exciting?
Local ownership, people that you see in the community. It's what makes town special.
And I'm downtown all the time.
I love it.
All the time. And this is an unpaid advertisement. If you're in a history class, I will be getting me some dry rub chicken wings, but I will be getting that pimento cheese.
Yeah, it's
one
good.
more thing y'all have that I'm so proud of. I don't drink.
Okay.
I'm a non-drinker, and you have the most delicious non-alcoholic beer.
We have sodas and all that stuff too.
But the non-alcoholic beer is so yummy.
Well, awesome.
It's so good. Yeah. So I love it. I love downtown, and I love what we've done down there. I love it's just so much fun.
It's come a long ways, and even now I'll be driving through downtown. I was like, look at all these people. I remember the first time I saw a tourist there. I saw a person taking pictures. I was like, that's a tourist that came downtown. You build a city that sort of the tagline that I love in city building and revitalization is build a city for locals, and tourists will show up. 100. Savannah, Paris, all these cities that we love were built for the locals. No one designed Paris for the tourists. They designed it for the locals.
And no slam against Panama City Beach, because I love my beach. I live on the far west end of the beach. I absolutely love my beach. Yeah. But let's face it, the beach really is basically built for the tourists.
It is.
Because that is our main industry.
100%.
But I love living here. But I will tell you, when I want to get the feeling that I'm back home,
Yeah.
I go downtown. So I really claim Panama City as my town. I don't look at it as Panama City Beach and Panama City. I feel that Panama City is my town.
And that's so probably related into, I call it bumping into folks. Like when you go to the grocery store, do you see anybody? You know, that's what I love about small towns. And we lived in Birmingham, my wife and I did for a long time. And you'd go to the grocery store and you would just go back home. And then I asked, one time my truck broke down. I said, who's your family transmission guy? And my wife said, what are you talking? Family what? I said, you don't have like a guy that does the repairs on your
guy.
Yeah. And so like, that's what I love about Panama City is you go to the grocery store and you see 10 people that you know, and hey, how's your family doing? And it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like people care about you and you know people. And I think that's a natural human reaction is wanting to be seen.
Another thing that it does, and I think that's one of the reasons, I've seen other people not do it, but you, like I said, ran just a beautifully clean, lovely campaign.
Thank you.
At Beach Beach, we don't get involved in politics.
Sure.
I don't allow them to talk about politics. I don't allow them to talk about that on Facebook, where I have a real strict social media policy because people can be very unkind.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I can't handle the unkind.
Sure,
I really can't. I'm in control of how I treat people.
Right.
I'm not in control of how they treat me.
Sure.
So politics is something really weird for me.
It's weird. Me too.
When you have a big heart, it would be really weird because you want to really. Because I get aggravated when people think that people are into politics for power, for other things.
Yeah.
I don't think that's so much local.
No.
I think I would say that the big majority of local politicians are just in it because they want a better community.
Being a person who's built very successful businesses and being an elected official, it's way easier to just build a business to make money for yourself than it would be to find some nefarious way as an elected official, risk going to prison over, and all. It's just no. I've no doubt that someone at some point was nefarious in some place in America, but it's being on this side, it's much easier to build businesses and make money.
It is. It is. And I love that.
And it is a lot of hours and a lot of expectations, and you feel like you're letting people down all the time. It's often not very fun.
Oh, I know. I know. I'm a broker and an owner of a big real estate company. And it's 100 plus. And then I've got a lot of, now my employees are just the most delightful humans on the planet. I literally am in love with my employees. Yeah. And you keep all your employees too, I've noticed.
It's not because of me. It's because the managers and the assistant, they're just incredible. And when you hire great leaders, they tend to attract other people who are looking for that. And we've just gotten really lucky.
It's the energy and the spirit.
Yeah.
It's the energy and the spirit of the place too. What do you hope people feel when they walk into something you've helped build?
Oh my goodness.
Your restaurant, downtown. What do you hope they feel? Because I know what I want people to feel when they walk in here.
I just want people to feel like when someone did this, they cared. They were intentional with their decisions, and things should feel right. With history class, the idea was I wanted people to say like, "Oh, this has been here forever. Obviously, the building was built for this." I wanted to feel like it belonged there. And, in software design, you'd call that an intuitive experience where it feels natural. Certainly the button should be there to click, and certainly the report should be here. But I think that in building, when you build something physical, there's a care that people can see that, there's lots of decisions that we made that were not generic. And that's where there's a level of intention.
I love it. So you've done a good job on it, and you've actually done that. So what has been one of your most moving moments as mayor so far? Something that reminded you of why you're doing this?
Oh, well, the fun parts of being mayor are not the ribbon cuttings or the speeches or the meetings. It's the little things. It's honestly like when someone has an issue and you're able to quickly solve it, or they have a question and you just feel super helpful. Because the big things, and I think that's even true just in leadership.
100%.
The big things take so long to get done that often the fun is removed out of them. And it's the little joys of that person was really stressed because of this thing, and I was able to make a phone call to get a thing done for them. And it just feels good serving people. And the practice of leadership is unfair. It's like service. It's like being a waiter or waitress. It's unfair. You get things dumped on you, and you can't say what you want to say oftentimes because you have to be leadership, and it's hard. And there are these little moments that are like, okay, that's why I'm doing
Yeah,
it. And so
exactly.
it's the little moments that you can never put on a campaign like, oh,
Yeah, nobody
you got the person a new trash can.
Yeah,
You know, it's
exactly.
never those things, but those are the fun parts that I realized. Those are the ones that kind of refill the tank.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you have some of the same friends I do.
Yeah.
Like I know you've been on Aaron Rich's podcast, which
Yeah.
is amazing, by the way. And that precious Brad Stevens. You talk about a community person, somebody who loves his community. And I just feel like maybe every mama feels like this about her babies, but I feel like we live in the most loving, tender, gracious, giving back community.
Yeah.
I've just never seen anything like it.
Well,
I feel so at home in our
I think
community.
that, you know, the old like I'm rubber, you're glue, it bounce off me. You reflect that, and people are usually a reflection of what you give them. So when you are that way, they're reflecting that back on. They're matching your energy. So, but I would hope that everyone would have that experience, and we should strive to be that town. You know, not everyone's experience is the same, but I think oftentimes when you project that energy, people bring that to you, and that's what you're seeing as a mirror.
I like my little world, so I guess I'll stay in it.
I love it. More people should be like Karen.
I have I want to share this with you, and it's fun. You can use it, but I have this condition that I always talk about when I give talks. Is I have a condition called reverse paranoia.
Okay.
And it means I think everybody's out to help me.
Yes, I love that.
So I really do. So I tell people all the time. So if you don't like me,
Sure.
I don't know it. I don't even know it. I can't. I've had people come up to me before and go, Karen, did you see how rude they were being? I go, no. I go, bless your heart. Bless your heart. So, but you know, I'm going to stay that way. I'm okay. It makes me happy in this little world. So, we got to wrap up pretty soon because I got to get you back out the door to a ribbon cutting. When people see this, it's going to be in December.
Okay.
So by the time people see this, the town's going to be just painted beautiful. And I know Jennifer Bowman in our office is on the decorating committee. And
super involved. We're so happy to have her downtown.
Oh my! I want to tell you something. I have to say this.
And Scott. We're happy to have Scott.
They're great. They're great. So when Beachy Beach came downtown, there was a little grumbling about a couple people going, we didn't need another real estate office downtown. We needed another retail. Yeah. And what they didn't know, that when we show up, we become a part of.
Yeah, really what people don't realize is you want a good mix of businesses, and downtown at one point became too much heavy with office space, but you want people participating in things. And so when the Bergs moved downtown, Berg Law, they said, well, what can we do? I said, well, paint the windows, keep your lights on your office so it looks open and feels alive. And then like you have speakers outside and play music. And that really is the difference at night when you're walking to go to dinner. People go like, oh, this place is vibrant versus like it feels dark and like ominous. And so keeping lights on, it costs nothing to run the lights. It makes people feel like something's alive, and paint little things in the window, and people feel.
That's what we're doing too, and we love it. We're so happy down there. So if you, what role, because this is super important to me, because I started writing gratitude lists when I was 10 years old. 10 years old. And I'm
that's a lot of emotional intelligence for a 10-year-old.
60, well, I had to grow up really fast. That's the story.
Sure.
But so what role does gratitude or giving back play in your day-to-day life? I know this about you because I've seen you.
Sure.
What role does gratitude play in your life, in your day-to-day?
I'm probably not as strategic as you were when you were 10, writing down those things. It took me a long time to realize what a special way I grew up. And I've said this story lots of times, but having parents who own businesses, who were in the community, never did political stuff, but they were always sponsoring things. And my last name is Branch, which is an unusual name. And people would say, "Oh, Branch," and they would say, like Tally Ho or Jimmy's.
Yeah.
And then there was some acknowledgement of a connection, and then a kind word or grace given to me in a situation I didn't deserve grace. And I thought everyone grew up like that. I thought everyone grew up in a place where you just walked around, people just said nice things to you, and I realized how special I was. And it does make me. That's one of the things that inspires me. Of like, gosh, I had all these advantages. I mean, we talk about privilege. just the privilege of kind words growing up. What does that do to it? I mean, I thought I still do. I can figure that out. What is that confidence in me? Is it foolishness? Maybe it is. Maybe it's all those kind words that have been poured into me. And so that's my fuel. And that is gratitude that fuels that, of just realizing that I had these advantages. It's not necessarily, we didn't grow up super rich or in probably lower middle class. The bills were paid, but it never was ski vacations or things like that. But that's my fuel. Is my gratitude is stemmed from what this community said to me growing up, all the second chances and third chances and kindness,
It is everything. I talk a lot on this program about mind, body, and spirit, and how important our words are. And they're just so powerful, and it's very important to me. So I think what's going to have to happen, Allan, since you had to get in here and get out to go to a ribbon cutting, I would love it so very much if we would have a part 2.
Yeah.
Because I have not been able to ask you all the things I want to ask you. But
sure.
I know you don't know me very well, but I have just loved you from afar.
Well, thank you.
Love. Again, you're right. I love your family.
Yeah.
I love you. I love what you're doing. I love how you run your businesses. I love how your people act in your business. You get extra points because your sister. I'm telling you, I love it. Cause I say all the time that Lacey says all the things that I would love to say.
Lacey was homecoming queen at Bay High.
Huh?
Lacey was homecoming queen at Bay High.
I believe
like 2008 or 6 or something.
She's still beautiful.
She is
beautiful.
She gets it from my mom. My mom was homecoming queen at Bay High, 1971.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been tall enough to be a queen of anything. Yeah. They think, well, who's this little girl doing here? I'm like, even as an adult, when people take me places, they go, is it take your kid to work day today or something? Whatever.
I had the opposite problem. No one believed I was under 12 when I was 12. Yeah.
I love it. Same. I've got a grandchild that's really big at 12. So I need to thank a few more people before we go today. I've already told you about all my beautiful people I use downtown.
Yeah.
And I've got some new sponsors too, and Jute and Palm and Can't Have Prettier New. And then I've got Elysian Med Spa, and I'm super excited about that because that's where I get all my Botox and all my Photox and all my toxins.
All the toxins. You gotta get them.
All the things. I'm not one of those women that I'm going to age gracefully. Why? Who came up with that concept? I'm not one of those. So yeah, I'm very thankful for them. And Holiday Beach Mechanical is one of my big sponsors. If you ever have need, they do electrical, plumbing, and air conditioning, and they're amazing people. And they're one of my biggest sponsors. So these people make it possible. Allan, what do you want to say going out? Is there any message you want to give to your amazing Bay County? Keep in mind that when this goes out, we're about in Kris Kringle time. It's December when this is going to go out.
Oh my gosh. That's like, I don't know. If it's Christmas, I would say take some time off, enjoy your family.
Yes.
Do something that refills you. We need that. It's important. If you're driven like I am, we often have to remind ourselves, like, you need a break sometimes. Sometimes for me, that's a nap on the weekends. But Christmas is a good time to kind of reset and kind of rethink things and plan the new year. It's kind of a nice reset. So that's the advice I'd give myself.
Yes, I know. Me
Replay
too.
this for me in a few weeks.
Me too. Yeah. So enjoy downtown and enjoy your city and be grateful for this one beautiful, amazing life we have. Thank you so much, Allan, for being here. I am so appreciative of you. I really am. I'm very grateful. And I always say this when I leave, be sweet, y'all.
Be sweet.